Hi guys, this is a different video to what I normally film. I'm going to be sharing my 1 year experience using my Cameo Pro, and this is just my tips and tricks, things that I've learned along the way. So I don't do this full time, so I'm sure there's a lot more things that I can learn, but I just want to share with you what I've learned because it might be helpful if you're thinking about buying a silhouette. This might apply to other silhouettes, but the only experience I have is with my Cameo 4. If I look down, it's because my notes are on my iPad in front of me, but this video is going to be about Silhouette Studio, registration marks, mats, lighting, material, connection like Bluetooth, and printing. I will timestamp everything below in the comments, so check down to see if you want to jump to a certain section of this video. Otherwise, I will get into it. So my very first problem came with Silhouette Studio when I was designing on the most recent updated version of it. I was designing on my MacBook Pro. I noticed when I was designing on Silhouette Studio, when I would go to print out things, there was missing parts of my design, like missing lines, and it just was a bit glitchy. And the only way to fix that was to go back onto Silhouette America and you click on the software part and downgrade a version. So the version I use is 4.3.370, and you just scroll down and you'll find it there and click whether you want it for your PC or Mac. And I think PC users can use the most recent updates, but it's just Mac users. So if Silhouette America, if anyone from there is listening to this video for some reason, please work on your next update and let it be usable for us Mac users, because there are a lot of Mac users that are having the same problems that I do. Even with that last version that I just mentioned, there is a glitch in it sometimes. Like, I can work on one project and it's fine, but if I open up multiple, then this happens. The design actually disappears. I know it's there when I print it out, but it is really annoying when I'm trying to look at the fine details while I'm designing. So yeah, it would be great if you could fix that in the next update, please. Thank you. My next problem was with registration marks, and for a while I was thinking, what is going on? My Silhouette wasn't reading my registration marks at all, and it was because I made them too close to the edge of the page, so it couldn't read it, and also it wasn't printing out part of my registration mark. But even if it does print out and it is too close to the edge, sometimes your Silhouette might be reading the corner of the page rather than the registration mark. And if you have like a wonky cut, like say you were cutting like a rectangle and you notice that your rectangle looks a bit like that, like up and down, it's probably because your Silhouette is reading the registration mark at the top left hand corner and the bottom left hand corner, but probably reading the corner of the page in the top right hand corner. And that happened to me a lot. So this is the best settings on Silhouette design for me, is to make the lines thick and make the registration marks, I just make them as small as possible, and the inset can only go out as far as 500 for me. Otherwise my printer will cut off the bottom line and not print that for some reason. I found here in Scotland it gets really dark in winter and quite bright in the summer, and the lighting has changed for me. I don't know if this is a coincidence, but I found that using my torchlight in the wintertime for it to read some materials actually helped. Now, I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but it actually helped me, so you can try that. And in the summer months, there were some days where I had to actually shut the lid because, especially with glossy paper, the light would shine and reflect on the glossy paper, and I guess the sensors couldn't read that properly, so shutting the lid actually helped. I always see people on groups suggesting make sure you've got a Silhouette mat, but I actually haven't been using a Silhouette mat for a while. I use these 3 mats, and one is even a Cricut mat, and these are quite thick. The Silhouette mats are very thin and see-through, and they do work really well, but it's just that these were cheaper, and so I got these. I can even, if I'm using these for one project, say I'm making a memo pad and I need to cut out lots of them, I load up 3 of these and I can change them without having to change the settings of my cutting blades. I don't need to change the depth because these are all the same thickness. I am using Nicapa, Cricut, and Real Like. I find with these ones, while the registration marks are reading, it's better if it's flat. Sometimes it doesn't matter, it depends on the day I guess with the lighting as well. but I've found that I've needed to hold it parallel as it's reading registration marks. Otherwise, if it doesn't, because this is a thick mat, when it bends down the end, this part bends where it's reading. So if you've got the square, then the sensor's going to read it at an angle and it's going to throw your cuts off. And it hasn't happened so much for the back when it falls down, but yeah, the front I find really important to try and keep parallel. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but yeah. Something else you'll need to do is to maintain your mats is to go through and scrape off or pick off the little bits of paper, because there are little bits of paper on here, and if I were to cut like some sheets, some memo pads, the cuts will be off because there's bubbles underneath the paper where it's sitting on these little paper bumps. With the materials, I can't share what speed, depth or force I use with mine because it changes for me all the time. As my blade gets blunter, I have to change the depth or the force depending, and so the best thing to do when you first get your machine, I don't do it so much anymore because I've remembered what materials I use and what kind of like depth they need, and if you write all that stuff down, like say I'm using, so depending on different branding, write down the brand and write the material and what it is, and write the depth of how you get kiss cut and just normal cut stickers, how to get kiss cut stickers, how to get normal cut stickers, and yeah, it'll take a lot of experimenting and you are going to waste a lot. I don't know any way around that. Yeah, just expect to waste a lot of materials, unfortunately. I hate that feeling too. It's really expensive. Each vinyl sticker sheet is expensive and I don't know any way around it. I don't waste so much anymore because I've kind of memorized the settings a little bit, but yeah, writing down your settings in the beginning is really handy, and yeah, in no time you will remember each settings anyway. So with the connection, I just actually use the plug. Since I've upgraded to my new MacBook Pro, the Bluetooth hasn't worked on there. I don't know why it hasn't, but I've read that the Bluetooth adapter inside is not very good, and so people have suggested buying a new Bluetooth adapter, which they aren't very expensive, but only do this if you are really desperate and you really need that Bluetooth. And be cautious doing this. I'm not recommending this at all because it could muck up your warranty if you have one. It probably will, because I don't even know how you plug in a new Bluetooth adapter even. I think you might have to unscrew the machine. So if I really needed Bluetooth, I'd probably do this, but yeah, I'm not recommending that you do this, just letting you know that the option's out there in case. Do a little bit of research yourself about it to find the right thing. I just use the cable. If you've got multiple machines and you're kind of desperate, then yeah, that is an option. Look up Bluetooth adapter for Cameo, ask about it in the subreddit. Another reason why you might be having issues connecting is this little area down here. If it says unavailable, just click the little cutting machine that has the number on it and you will find something that you can connect to. Just connect to the one that says available. And yeah, for a long time I didn't know about this, so when I found out about it, it did fix a lot of my problems because most of the time I couldn't get my machine to work, and this was why. Another thing my machine does sometimes is not reset my blade properly, and I don't know if this is a problem with my blade, but I do check after it has reset to see if it goes to the depth that I want it to. If it's not, I pause the machine, take it out, and then set it to the depth that I want and then continue the cut. Sometimes it doesn't want to reset, so I have to keep clicking. Be careful when you press it though, because you can cut yourself with the blade at the bottom, so make sure you stay away from the little hole at the bottom. Highly suggest if you have any problems with your silhouette cutter and you've tried everything, then go to the silhouette cutters subreddit and ask there. Also, if you do ask questions in there, try and read other things that people are writing to, because you might find answers to things. I found that helpful. Once a week I'll just go check on that subreddit and read the problems that people have had and the solutions, because then I've actually had this happen where something has happened that I've read about and I've known how to fix it, so it does save time and it's just good to know. And also, if you've had experience with a problem and you've known how to fix something and someone asks a question, try and help them out as well, because it's good as a community to help each other. Our silhouette community isn't as big as the Cricut community. If they've got problems, there's more people to help out with that. But it's good if we can grow our silhouette community and help each other. Don't expect instant answers. Sometimes people can't help you on there. Try and get in touch with Silhouette America. I've had some things that I've asked them about and they have been helpful. It wasn't instant replies, but I did get a reply back. And the more times you use your machine, the more you'll figure out. So yeah. Now that I've filmed this video, I've just realized that I look like a ghost. I don't know if the lighting's changed since I sat down, but wow. I hope this video was useful. If you do have questions, you can ask them below, but yeah, I suggest going to the Reddit or trying to figure it out yourself, because I don't know everything. I'll make another video like this next year, but I might share my things in my studio vlogs as well. If you did like this video, please let me know by liking the video or commenting below, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.